Good morning. The October 1st, 2024 Commission meeting of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners will come to order. Good morning, citizens of Douglas County. County Clerk, please take roll.
Yes, ma'am. District 1 Commissioner Henry Mitchell is not present at the moment. District 2 Commissioner Whitney Kenner Jones.
Present.
District 3 Commissioner Martin Raxton.
Present.
District 4 Commissioner Vice Chair Mark Alcaraz.
Present.
Chairman Ramona Jackson Jones.
Present. Thank you so much, Clerk. Board of Commissioners, this morning we have an invocation. We have with us our own Director, James Worthington, who will be leading us in our invocation. And I ask it if everyone would just please stand, and after the invocation, please join us in the pledge to the flag. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board.
Good morning.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, our Heavenly Father, we thank you again for another opportunity to be here, Lord, another opportunity to be in this local government, Lord. We thank you for all those that are here, those that are participating, those that are leading, Lord. We ask you blessings on all of us, all of this county, and our country, Lord. We just ask you to continue to watch over us and keep us safe and put a hedge around this county. Let us grow in the right direction, Lord. I pray for peace and guidance and wisdom for this board, that they'll make good decisions that are pleasing to you, Lord. And these things I ask in your heavenly name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Managing Director James Worthington, for leading us in prayer this morning and giving such a wonderful invocation. All right, time clerk, certainly did we have anyone sign up for public comments? And before you do that, I just want to remind the Board of Commissioners, we have 3 minutes to make remarks, Board, and 2 minutes for rebuttal. Okay, so I yield the floor back to you, Clerk.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam Clerk.
We did have 2 citizens sign in.
Okay.
Before I call you up, I'll just remind you, you have 3 minutes to address the board. Once your 3 minutes are up, we'll ask you to wrap up your comments. And when you reach the podium, please speak directly into the mic and restate your name and subject matter and address for the record. Our first speaker is Linda Culver.
Good morning.
Good morning,
I
Ms.
apologize for
Culver.
my raspy voice this morning. My name is Linda Culver. Did you say my address?
Yes, ma'am.
102 Haven Circle, Douglasville, 30135. And I'm here for item number 10, the resolution to prohibit county events at the courthouse and other polling locations during voting season. And I'd just like to speak to some of my observations on Saturday. The disruption to the voting here on Saturday, there was the last opportunity to vote on Saturday at the courthouse here. And the disruption was caused by the trunk and treat event that was scheduled in the parking lot to the right-hand side from 3 to 7. I was working as a volunteer ballot monitor, and when I arrived at the courthouse, I found the parking lot to the right-hand side closed. And there was congestion ahead of me as I tried to maneuver around that was caused by a few cars. Some were maneuvering around the handicapped area, and some were trying to get to the left parking space, and some trying to access the handicapped parking spaces. By 3 p.m., both Hospital Drive entrances were blocked off, and the only way in and out from the Doris Road entrance was from the Doris Road entrance into the left side parking. Also, by that time, there were several tent booths and at least one food truck set up in the left parking area, and that was blocking much of the area there. And when I left just after 4 p.m., I observed that the back of the line of families attending the trunk and treat was actually in the driveway between the courthouse and the left side parking area. From there, the line wrapped around the handicap parking, across the front of the courthouse to the large front parking area where the trunk and treat was set up. The handicap parking was totally inaccessible. and the only access to the courthouse at that time was by foot from the left parking area through the crowd of families. You just had to maneuver your way through a lot of people. And during the day, while I was working as the ballot monitor, in that area I was able to see the voters as they arrived and entered to the line to the polling room. There was a steady flow of voters all day long until 3 p.m. At that time, there was a dramatic drop in the numbers. After 3 p.m. and until I left around 4 p.m., there was only a trickle of voters. And I appreciate you allowing me to speak today, and I support any resolution that would prevent something like this from happening in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming in, and certainly we are addressing this matter and taking it under advisement. Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, I yield the floor back to you.
Yes, ma'am. Our next speaker is Susan Bowie. Bowie? Sorry.
David Bowie messed it up for all of us. I'm Susan Bowie, 2935 Flowers Drive, here in Douglasville, 38 years.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to read again because obviously I'm not getting very good at this. I was informed that you're going to vote on this resolution about this. And I'm looking, and this is kind of off script here because I'm looking at the back thing and it looks like we're doing it again, but this time we're bringing people in the courthouse on the 31st. If I'm not mistaken, it says bring kids to the courthouse on the 31st from 2 to 5. Looks like it's happening again. So anyway, but what I'm here is to say thank you for addressing my concerns of yesterday, and your attention to the matter is really, really appreciated. My role at Sweetwater Indivisible is to give our community a collective voice louder than their own. For 15 years, I was the director of a program called Call for Action at Fox 5. Our job was to help our viewers. We did that not by exposing the bad guys, but by allowing them the opportunity to do the right thing. This way, we could resolve whatever issue may be in question. Praise over finger pointing, that was our motto. When you vote today, I'd like to ask you to think about something. You're all elected by the citizens of Douglas County, each one of you. You had to register to run. You had to build a campaign. You had volunteers making phone calls, text banking, sign waving, putting out signs, writing postcards, and knocking on doors to get your message to the voters. You've gotten our attention now, and we've decided to vote for you. And Saturday, let's see, I'm sorry, I lost my place. We decided to vote for you. Are you going to allow anyone to stand between your voters and our vote for you? Because that's what's happening. Saturday, it was just a candy giveaway. What will it be the next election? A parade, a repair to a road? Because all those things have happened in the past. Where do we draw the line? We suggest that the line be drawn at that 150-foot mark, no exceptions. We, the voters, your constituents, don't want to have to make a choice between our vote and our safety. Please don't let anyone take away our right to freely vote. We want to participate. We don't want to make it so difficult. We don't want you to make it so difficult that we have to weigh if voting is worth it or not. My bet is that each one of you lost some votes on Saturday, and I don't know that you got them back. But I'm pretty sure they drove away because they couldn't get in. By ensuring the integrity of the election process, we all win. So I'm asking you to please do the right thing. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we will certainly take this matter under advisement. Madam Clerk, do we have anyone else?
No, that was all.
Okay, thank you so much. Board of Commissioners certainly will move into the adoption of our agenda. Commissioners, are there any changes that need to be made to the agenda?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Line item number 25, we discussed this yesterday, and the fire department was okay with it to remove and include the response fee of $100 for patients to receive EMS assessment and treatment without transport, just to table that to our next meeting so we can get more clarification in regards to what warrants that $100 charge.
So, Vice Chair, you're just saying remove the 100?
Correct. Yes, ma'am. And
Okay.
everything else is fine.
Okay. Would you like to call a motion to have that removed, please?
I'd like to make a motion to remove the response fee on line item number 25 for the patients to receive EMS assessment and treatment without transport, and that to be tabled into our next meeting.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Board of Commissioners, do we have any discussion? Okay, if there's being no discussion, if you're all in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. We have a full unanimous vote, and the motion carries to remove that $100 fee off line 25, tab 25. Clerk, Madam Clerk, you have that, and also Attorney. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, are we going to put that for discussion on the next commission meeting? Because we have to
Yeah,
have a date.
I need a date, which is November 19th. Would like to move that 100.
Yes, that's the next meeting.
Yes.
November 18th for work session?
Yeah, work session.
November
18th.
18th.
Yes, thank you. All right.
Madam Chair, can you now get a motion to adopt the agenda without number 25, since
Okay.
it's now been removed?
Okay.
Thank you.
We didn't move the entire 25, we just moved a portion.
This part of it.
We just moved one portion, so we didn't remove 25.
So we still need to adopt the
Yes.
agenda?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Madam Chair, I move to adopt the consent agenda as written with the modification to line item 25 to remove the section that states, and to include a response fee of $100 for patients that receive EMS assessment or treatment without transportation, and that portion be postponed to the next meeting to discuss the $100 fee on November 18th during the work session.
Okay, thank you. Do
Madam
we
Chair,
have
I
a
second the
second?
motion. I second the motion as
Okay,
presented.
okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion, board? We have a motion and a second. Please indicate by raising your right hand if you're in favor. Okay, we have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. Thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. I didn't see you on that end. All right, Board of Commissioners, next we are moving into approving our minutes. Next on the agenda, we have the approval of the minutes. You have the minutes, the commission meeting of October 15, 2024, the work session minutes of October 14, 2024, and the executive session minutes of October 14, 2024. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes as presented? Board?
So moved.
Okay, we have a
So
motion. Second? Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion, board? We have a motion and a second.
I guess, just a quick point of
Commissioner
clarification.
Braxton, you have the floor.
Okay, in the current agenda, we have presentation. I want to make sure that from an ordering standpoint, we're in good taste. We're good? Okay, we can do it, presentation.
come back to it.
We'll come back to it.
Okay,
I
great.
missed it. My clerk
Okay.
did correct me and added on here, but we have a motion and a second on the floor.
All right.
All in favor of the approval of the minutes, please indicate by raising your right hand. We have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. All right, I'll pivot back to presentations, and my clerk did write it on the agenda a second ago, but I missed it again, clerk, so Madam Clerk, I apologize. Board of Commissioners, we have presentations this morning. And the presentation starts with the Douglas County Film and Entertainment Office presentation, and that'll be led by our communications officer, Yvette Jones. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chairman, Board of Commissioners, County Administration. It is a pleasure to stand before you today with a new development in Douglas County. So in 2023, the Communications Department was tasked with revamping our film operations to meet a growing need in our county. It is not work we have done alone. Together with our constituent services and planning and zoning departments, we have spent the better part of a year creating a structure and refining processes to better serve the film and entertainment community that is increasingly choosing Douglas County as an entertainment destination. They say if you build it, they will come. Well, today we are proud to share an overview of what we have developed to meet this growing need. And if my team will roll the tape, please.
Lights, camera, action. Introducing the Douglas County Office of Film and Entertainment. A one-stop shop for film and media production needs, including permitting, location scouting, and referrals to other resources. We are proud to be a camera-ready community.
The Camera Ready Community Designation is given out by the Georgia Film Commission to liaisons in counties all across the state. And it's an important designation for those in the film and TV production arena because it gives them a centralized source of information and it tells them where to go for the assistance they need. We think this is a mutually beneficial situation because we want to be a resource not just to the creative arts community, but to our community as a whole as well. And we are so thrilled to be ushering in this brand new era of film and TV assistance in Douglas County.
We at the Georgia Film Office are excited to work with the new Douglas County Film and Entertainment Office as our camera-ready partners for Douglas County. From hit TV series like Stranger Things and The Walking Dead, to box office blockbusters like Avengers: Infinity War and the Hunger Games series, Douglas County has long been a popular location for filming. With its diverse landscapes, film-friendly staff, and close proximity to crew and production resources in Atlanta, Douglas County has much to offer our industry. And with the recent opening of Grady Point Studios, even more productions will be coming to Douglas County, bringing jobs, economic impact, and film tourism. Now with the creation of the Douglas County Film and Entertainment Office, visiting filmmakers have a dedicated one-stop shop to work with. The Georgia Film Office welcomes the Douglas County Film and Entertainment Office to the Camera Ready family, and we look forward to a successful partnership for years to come.
Beyond the camera and lights, the Film and Entertainment Office is partnering with other stakeholders to offer educational and informational opportunities, including the inaugural Film Taster Workshop, which drew a massive audience to the Woody Fight Senior Center.
Douglas County has homegrown talent. We have people working in this industry for years. It's just kind of been going under the radar. So we figured this is a wonderful time to try to give this industry some attention and hopefully attract more artists to our area and hopefully develop an entertainment economy. So we have another reason for people to want to live, work, and play here.
From Lionsgate to the small screen, tons of indies and more, Douglas County is a premier destination, and we are thrilled to be a part of the industry buzz.
Thrilled we are indeed, and I'd just like to take a moment to say thank you to Craig Dominy, who you saw there in the video from the Georgia Film Office. He was to be with us today, but he came down pretty ill, and I begged him to please share a few words with us on camera, and he said that he would. And so we're just so thankful for him and all that he has done to embrace us as a camera-ready community. And we also have in the audience with us today a representative from Great Point Studios who will share a little bit with us. But first, I would like to yield to our Planning and Zoning Manager, Allison Duncan, to share just a little bit more about the need and how our operations here in Douglas County work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yvette. Good morning, Madam Chair, Board of
Good
Commissioners.
morning.
As always, I will have a slide deck. And
We love it.
not only a slide deck, but a slide deck with data on it, right? So this
Okay.
has been a lot of fun. It's been really great kind of helping to relaunch the film office here in Douglas County. As y'all know, Georgia Film Office reports that in fiscal year 2024, film and television production spent $2.6 billion in Georgia. And we're very excited that we have a piece of that here in Douglas County. We have in the state 4.5 million square feet of stage space. And so we're getting up there in terms of our rankings, you know, as we compare with other jurisdictions across the country. And Georgia has had 273 productions, including feature films, independent films, music videos, things of that nature. So we're very glad here in Douglas County that we have a part of the studio space that's contributing to the overall whole in the state, as well as starting to see a number of those productions come back online here in the state. With that being said, here is the base slide deck with data on it, right? So this has been a lot of fun. Yeah, awesome.
That part.
So The other kind of key message I'd like for you to hear me say today is that it's an interdepartmental team, and you know I love working in these environments. So it's been fantastic working with my colleagues in communications and constituent services to bring kind of all of the things together that we're good at to launch this initiative, right? And so what you have before you is kind of how we're organized. We have certain responsibilities as a camera-ready community under the state, and so Yvette is going to be our camera-ready liaison, as well as kind of the outward-facing person representing the film office. Wendy is doing a great job being the liaison to all of the county departments, because we have a number of facilities and a lot of beautiful space, as we saw in that video. And so we're working with Film Scouts every day to identify the opportunities for them to use county facilities here. And then last but not least, you got to have permitting, right? We want to make sure that everybody, you know, coming in is getting those proper permits and agreements in place. And so that's where planning and zoning comes in, whereby we were able to just kind of pivot our existing temporary event permit process to be able to make it work for the film office. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Wendy to tell you a little bit more about what she does on behalf of the county.
All right. Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning,
Good
Board
morning.
of Commissioners. Thank you for allowing us to present what we've been working on. So I'm just going to give you a little bit more data about what does this industry mean for our state. And as you see in this slide, it's talking about all the jobs that have come into the state because of this industry. And I know that that's something that's important for Douglas County. We want people to be able to work. We want people to want to live here. And having these kinds of things that embrace culture is a big draw for people to come to the area and to stay in the area. So you can kind of see that data. I'm not going to read it to you because I know you all can read. And I'll go on to the next slide. So what does this mean for us? So economic impacts. If, as we have productions coming into the county, that means people are going to have hotels to stay in. People are going to have to get transportation services. People are going to be looking for these different industries to provide whatever it is that they're going to need to make the production grow. And that means increased tourism for us, because people love to come see, oh, this is where Stranger Things was filmed. This is where the Hunger Games were filmed. This is where my favorite whatever was filmed. And that means also an opportunity for our local community to learn additional skill sets. Sometimes productions will actually train people to do the work that they need. So I just see that as a win-win for Douglas County, right? And as you can see, my last little bullet point under economic impacts, the film Black Panther, which filmed in Atlanta, it didn't film in Douglas County. I believe one of the locations was the High Museum. At any rate, that brought 3,100 local jobs to those folks over there. That's a massive amount of jobs. So, you know, when we have big productions here, you can imagine what that might bring and what that would mean for our county. And as far as community impacts, which I think is extremely important and something we should really be thinking about, this is our opportunity to talk about what is our new identity as a county, right? We've been through a lot of growth. We have a lot of new things. This past spring, we had that open house, and the tagline was "The people, the work, the progress." Well, this is another identifier of our progress. So what does that say about us? Why is Douglas County such a special place? So I think this is an opportunity for us to really look at ourselves and define who we are. Also, the arts brings a sense of social well-being. It helps define our culture, and it improves quality of life. That was the part I was saying. It makes people want to stay here. When people have a high quality of life, they don't want to move. I know I don't want to drive my kids to Atlanta every time they want to do something fun. I want to stay here, and we can do that. As we grow, we'll be able to offer those things, and people can stay right here. Those dollars can stay right here in Douglas County. This will also mean that the productions that are coming in, they may want to partner with some of our local arts and culture groups. They may want to partner with our school system. this kind of traffic helps revitalize communities and revitalize places that haven't had a lot of attention and kind of need to be reimagined. And last but not least, they may want to participate in some of our civic opportunities. So it's very exciting what this means for us. And I would just, in closing, like to mention that our beautiful logo here for the Douglas County Film and Entertainment Office was created by Vet's graphic ops team. And we also have a dedicated film website. It's on our county website under the communications tab. We have a dedicated film email, film@douglascountyga.gov, and a phone number. So if anybody's watching this and wants to know how they can get in touch with us, there you go. And as always, please support the arts. I'd like to bring up Michael Jones, who is the operations manager for Great Point Studios. He's agreed to come and share a few words with you about what's going on over there and what it means to be working with the county. Michael?
Good morning.
Good morning. I'd like to thank you all for allowing me to speak on the behalf and benefit of the Douglas County Film and Entertainment Office. We're excited to be partners in the community. It's been a little time coming. We are fully operational, and just in the last month, we're able to welcome our first production to the county. We'll keep it under wraps right at the moment.
Okay.
But they are excited to be here. It is a chance and opportunity for us to really expand our partnerships with the community. There are a number of crew that are located in Douglas County to begin with that have to travel to other communities to work, and now there's an opportunity for them to work here, 5, 10, 15 minutes from their home, which I can tell you, I drove 2.5 hours to work every day for 6 years working in the film industry, and I'd much rather be 10 minutes from my house. We recently worked with the Scouts of America troop, that is the official title now, I think, recently from United Methodist Church, had them out to do a tour. We work closely with economic development and the CAC as community partners. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits. We want to be a net benefit to the county, and we believe that that is there for us to be able to help using local vendors, using local crew base, and moving forward. I think the direction that the film office has gone to simplify permitting and everything is going to be a net benefit. I spent 20 years as a location manager. I've brought shows to Douglas County pre-COVID, not as many because all the shows were done on the other side of town. Well, now we have a state-of-the-art studio facility here, easy to get to off the highway, and with a nice development that's going next door and other developments around the county that'll offer places for crew to stay, out-of-state crew to stay if there's any, and certainly those are hopefully going to be net benefits to everybody involved. It's a great opportunity, and I look forward to working with you all over the next, hopefully, very long time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in to share with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Wendy. Madam Chair, that is it for our presentation. I would ask if we, once we wrap here, if we could take a quick picture with the Board of Commissioners with Mr. Jones before he heads back to the studio.
Oh, absolutely.
But I yield back to you. Thank you so
Okay.
much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Communications Officer. Thank you. Board of Commissioners, this is a huge milestone for Douglas County, and certainly it is a lights, camera, and action moment. This is huge. So, Board of Commissioners, I ask if we could just stand on our feet and applaud this presentation, because this is a huge announcement for this county and for just the state at large. I am excited. Thank you.
Thank you. And Madam Chair, if I may, I wanted to extend a huge note of gratitude to County Administration, our Assistant County Administrator Tiffany Stewart Stanley, and of course, our County Administrator, Dr. David Corbin, for supporting this effort and encouraging us to make it the best that we could. So thank you very much.
So we need the photograph
Yes,
now,
please.
right? Because,
And we'll be quick. We know we've got a lot of business to do.
yes. Would y'all like to come up? This is just for, no? You want us to come down? That's fine. Yeah. Yes, I heard Chair, so that means get down. Get closer to my mic. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. You wouldn't even believe that I was a cheerleader. I apologize. Okay. Get right on this mic. All right. Thank you, Commissioner. All right, Board of Commissioners, next we have a financial report from our own Rosalind Miller. Are you here, Rosalind? I didn't see you earlier. Rosalind Miller, we have a financial report.
We just need to take a vote.
We just need to vote on it. Okay, no problem. Board of Commissioners, certainly you've had an opportunity to look at the September financial report for 2024. Do we have a motion to accept the financial report? Do we have a motion?
So move.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Board, any discussion? We have a motion and a second on the floor. Please prepare to cast your votes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you so much, Clerk. Board of Commissioners, we have proclamations today. We have a total of 4. Please, I ask that we wait until all the proclamations are read and voted on, and then we will take photos. Clerk, please begin with our first proclamation.
Yes, ma'am. Our first proclamation is proclaiming November 3rd through the 9th, 2024 as National Animal Shelter Appreciation Week. Vanessa Franzikowski is here to present.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Board of Commissioners. Thank you for having us today. I am joined today by the staff of Douglas County Animal Services and our chair for the Douglas County Animal Advisory Board in recognition of them today. Whereas the Humane Society of the United States founded National Animal Shelter Appreciation Week in 1996 to acknowledge and appreciate the role of animal shelters in communities across the country, and to encourage the public to understand the level of work involved in caring for all animals, while also inspiring more people to volunteer and support their local animal shelters. And whereas National Animal Shelter Appreciation Week, observed annually during the first full week of November, provides an opportunity to recognize the essential role shelters play in our community, and to honor the hard work, dedication, and compassion of shelter staff and volunteers. And whereas Douglas County Animal Services staff and volunteers are dedicated to saving the lives of homeless, abandoned, and abused animals by providing them the 5 freedoms of animal welfare. They work tirelessly to reunite lost pets with their families, reduce animal overpopulation through spay-neuter programs, and educate the public about the importance of compassion and responsible pet ownership. And whereas Douglas County Animal Services will continue to be a voice to the voiceless, advocating for the well-being and safety of animals in our community. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the Douglas County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim the week of November 3rd through the 9th, 2024, as National Animal Shelter Appreciation Week in Douglas County, and encourage all citizens to support their local shelters, appreciate the tireless work they do, and consider adopting, fostering, or volunteering to help animals in need. So proclaim this 29th day of October, 2024.
Thank you so much. Board of Commissioners, you've heard the proclamation. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Board of Commissioners, any discussion? We have a motion and a second on the floor. Please prepare to cast your votes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you. You have the floor, Madam
Okay,
Clerk.
our next proclamation is proclaiming November 1st through November 11th, 2024, Operation Green Light for Veterans in Douglas County. Leslie Nelson is here to present.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
Board of Commissioners. My name is Leslie Nelson, and I'm joined here this morning by a retired Army officer, Sabrina Bradley, as well as Lori Hurd, who is a founder and CEO of the Prolific Seven. I am also an Army veteran. I served 6 years in the Army, and my husband is a retired Army veteran. He served 27 years active duty service. Operation Greenlight. Whereas the residents of Douglas County have great respect, admiration, and the utmost gratitude for all of the men and women who have selflessly served our country and this community in the armed forces, and whereas the contributions and sacrifices of the men and women who served in the armed forces have been vital in maintaining the freedoms and way of life enjoyed by our citizens, and whereas Douglas County seeks to continue honoring these individuals who have paid a high price for freedom by placing themselves in harm's way for the good of all, and whereas veterans continue to serve our community in the American Legion, veterans of foreign wars, religious groups, civil service, and by functioning as county veteran service officers in 29 states to help fellow former service members access more than $52 billion in federal health, disability, and compensation benefits each year. And whereas approximately 200,000 service members transition to civilian communities annually, and whereas an estimated 20% increase of service members will transition to civilian life in the near future, and whereas studies indicate that 44 to 72% of service members experience high levels of stress during transition from military to civilian life, and whereas active military service members transitioning from military service are at a high risk for suicide during their first year after military service. And whereas the National Association of Counties encourages all counties, parishes, and boroughs to recognize Operation Greenlight for veterans, and whereas Douglas County appreciates the sacrifices of our United States military personnel and believes specific recognition should be granted. Therefore, be it resolved, Douglas County hereby proclaims from November 1st, 2024 through Veterans Day on November 11, 2024, a time to salute and honor the service and sacrifice of our men and women in uniform transitioning from active service. Therefore, be it further resolved that in observance of Operation Greenlight for Veterans, the Douglas County Courthouse will illuminate green each night beginning November 6th until November 12th. Therefore, let it be further resolved that the Douglas County Board of Commissioners encourages its citizens in patriotic tradition and solidarity to recognize the importance of honoring those who made immeasurable sacrifices to preserve freedom by displaying a green light in a window of their place of residence and/or business. So proclaimed the 29th day of October, 2024, signed by Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones, Chairman, Henry Mitchell III, District 1, Whitney Kenner Jones, District 2, Martin W. Raxton, District 3, and Mark Alcaraz, District 4. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Board of Commissioners, you've heard the proclamation. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor, Board. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
All right, well, thank you. And again, I just wanted to just thank you and all the veterans for your service. I am a child of a veteran that was in World War II, so it definitely have a special place in my heart, and would love to do more for veterans here in Douglas County. So again, thank you for your service. Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay. Vice Chair.
I also would like to say thank you to all the veterans. Proud that my grandfather and my father both served before me, but those who did not come back home, those who parents never got to see their child again, those were the ultimate sacrifices that we hold so dear that we should all cherish because of the freedoms that we have in this country, to where we don't have to fight those battles on our land. We've stood strong and kept those battles off of our United States of America. And I thank you, every one of you guys, everybody who has served, from the depths of my heart. I yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. Any other discussion? We have a motion and a second on the floor. Please prepare to cast your votes, Board.
Motion carries 5-0.
Clerk, before you move on, Board of Commissioners, certainly I would just like all the veterans, if you're in here, please stand so you could be recognized this morning. Madam Clerk, you have the floor again.
Yes, ma'am. Our next proclamation is proclaiming the month of October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Douglas County. Teresa Smith is here to present.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
And the commissioners, and excuse my voice this morning. Whereas October is recognized nationally as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, an opportunity to educate the public advocate for victims and honor survivors. And whereas the Share House has chosen the theme, Mask of Innocent Children, Voices of Pain and Strength, for this year's observance, highlighting the hidden struggles and remarkable resilience of children affected by domestic violence. And whereas children are often the silent victims of domestic violence, witnessing and experiencing trauma that can have profound and lasting effects on their physical, emotional, and psychological well-being. And whereas domestic violence impacts individuals of all ages, races, and socioeconomic backgrounds, It is crucial to raise awareness about the effects of domestic violence on children and to provide them with the support and resources they need to heal and thrive. And whereas Share House provides essential services, support, and advocacy for victims of domestic violence in Douglas County, striving to create a safe and nurturing environment where healing can begin. And whereas it is crucial for communities to come together to break the silence, offer hope, and extend support to those who suffer in silence, ensuring that no child or family endures the horrors of domestic violence alone. And whereas the theme, Mask of Innocence, remind us that behind every child's smile, there may be untold stories of pain and strength, urging us to listen, support, and stand united against domestic violence. Now, therefore, we, the Douglas County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim our profound gratitude and recognition to Share House for their steadfast commitment to combating domestic violence and supporting survivors in our community, and urge all citizens to recognize the significant contributions made by Share House in making our county a safer place. We, the Douglas County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Douglas County, Georgia. We urge all citizens to actively participate in this observance, support Share House efforts, and work towards a future where every child, individual, and family can live free from the fear of domestic violence. So proclaim this 29th day of October 2024.
Thank you so much. Board of Commissioners, you've heard the proclamation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Board, any discussion?
I just have a brief comment.
Commissioner Kenna Jones, you have the floor.
I just want to acknowledge Share House and the work that they do in our community. You spoke a lot about helping people with the trauma from domestic violence, but it's more than that. You are actually saving people's lives. The most dangerous period in time in a person escaping from domestic violence's life is in the immediate 3 months after they have left that situation. And without resources like Share House, a lot of these people would have nowhere to go. That you all are keeping them from repeating the cycle, making sure that they have access to resources, making sure that they have technology so that they can reconnect with family supports that they may have been cut off from, people that they need to have a connection to keep them and their children from going back into those situations. Simple things like making sure that their kids have clean clothes and a place to wash them so that they can continue to go to school. Giving them a hidden address so that their abuser cannot locate or find them genuinely saves lives every single day. Douglas County could not have a better resource and partner in that fight than you all, and so I just applaud the work that you do. Thank you very much.
Any other remarks, Board? Thank you so much, Commissioner Jones. Being none, please prepare to cast your votes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you so much, Madam Clerk. We're going to move on to the next item. Madam Clerk.
Okay, our fourth proclamation is proclaiming November 3rd, 2024 as Retired Educators Day in Douglas County. Leslie Brook is here to present.
Good morning. I'm representing Douglas County Retired Educators Association.
Good morning.
Whereas the governor of the state of Georgia has proclaimed the day of Sunday, November 3rd, 2024 as Retired Educators Day in Georgia, and whereas there are more than 135,000 retired educators in Georgia, 31,000 plus of whom are members of Georgia Retired Educators Association, and whereas the Retired Educators of Georgia donate thousands of hours of volunteer service and make invaluable contributions to the welfare of their respective communities across the state, and whereas it is appropriate that a day be designated for citizens to express their appreciation for the contributions that retired teachers have made and continue to make for the betterment of human lives and for society. And whereas local churches will recognize those lasting contributions made by retired educators in this community, now, therefore, the Douglas County Board of Commissioners do by here proclaim Sunday, November 3rd, 2024 as Retired Educators Day, and call upon the citizens of Douglas County to observe that day in an appropriate manner, honoring retired educators. So proclaim this 29th day of October 2024, signed by Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones, Chairman, Henry Mitchell III, District 1, Whitney Kerner Jones, District 2, Martin Raxton, District 3, and Mark Alcaraz, District 4.
Thank you so much. Board of Commissioners, you've heard the proclamation. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Board, any discussion? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, thank you so much. Clerk, point of order just for a second. Clerk and Board of Commissioners certainly wanted to just take the time and show deep appreciation and respect to our 135,000 retired educators who continue to make invaluable contributions to our society, and they are continuing to do so. And I would like for Mr. John Stone to please stand. He was a principal at Douglas County High School, and he's still on the ground working. You see him everywhere in this community. Let's give him a hand. He's a retired principal. And if there are any other educators, please, that are retired in the audience, please stand. I want to recognize you as well. Any other retired educators, because you all work so hard making us great people. Thank you so much. All right, that leads us to the next item. Madam Clerk?
We were going to do pictures.
Oh, yeah. We got to take photos, so everybody's ready. So you will direct us? Okay, thank you.
still in the same community.
All right, thank you again so much for those proclamations today and also following the photos. Clerk?
Yes, we'll move to the public hearing. We have before we start the public hearing, we will have a 2025 budget presentation from our finance department. I believe Dominique O'Shea. After the presentation, you can open the public hearing.
Okay, thank you so much. Good morning, Chief Financial Officer. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Madam Chair,
Good morning.
Commissioners.
And you're going to speak up this
Can you
morning,
get
if
closer
you
to
don't
the mic,
mind.
please?
You like me, you speak softly.
Speak close to the mic.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
There you go. Good morning.
Vice Chair
Morning,
and
sir.
Commissioners.
Good morning.
Is yours on here? Okay, no, I'm sorry about that. Do you know what yours is?
Give us just a few minutes, board. We're trying to tee up our presentation.
You're old. That's October 14, 15. Do you have my jump drive?
No.
My work here's done.
I can
I don't
move on
seem
and
to
come
have-
back. You want me to give you all time to tee up the
Could you
presentation?
please, Madam Chair?
I can do that.
Until we load it up. Thank
Out of
you.
respect of time. Board of Commissioners, certainly if you're okay with that. We won't
Yes.
go into the public. We'll just go straight into the business items and then
Yes.
come back for the public hearing because that should follow. Is that
Okay.
okay, legal? All right. Board of Commissioners, Clerk, now would you begin our agenda items for the business?
Yes, ma'am. We have number
Vice.
10, a resolution to prohibit the scheduling of county events at the Douglas County Courthouse and other county-owned polling locations during voting periods. Tiffany Stewart Stanley will present.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Board of Commissioners. So we are here today with a resolution and that would prohibit the scheduling of county events at the courthouse and other county-owned polling locations during the voting process period. One of the changes that we made to the document was to prohibit all weekend voting activities during the weekend voting period. So that's Saturday and Sunday. Those are automatically prohibited. However, all other events held during that period would have to be approved by the county administration office. Was the change that we made to the document. For example, we have a trick-or-treating event here on Thursday. That's from 2 to 5. There will be no blocking off of the parking lots. People can come and go. I've already checked with the elections director, and he feels confident that that event can go forward. But in the future, we plan on making sure that during the early voting weekend periods at none of the early voting locations, we will not have events, but also, we will also make sure that county administration looks at those events during the weeks. So do you have anything to add?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Milton Kidd. I am the Elections Director for Douglas County. I do thank the Board of Commissioners for taking this seriously. We did communicate the wishes of the voters of Douglas County who are voting in this current election cycle and who continue to vote. We thank Douglas County, 40,000 of which have already cast their ballots in the current election. This is a fundamental right of the citizens, and we are all here to be advocates for the citizens. So I thank the Board of Commissioners for taking this issue seriously.
Madam Chair, I do have one other correction on the seventh whereas. There's on the second line of the seventh whereas where it reads there have been 2 complaints. That should read no complaints. So when Madam Chair takes a motion, just with the changes as mentioned by our ACA and also the change of that whereas clause.
Okay. Thank you so much. Madam Attorney, thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and that concludes my presentation. I'll open the floor for any questions.
Okay. Any questions, board? Would you all like this resolution read aloud?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Nope.
that's fine.
Have one modification to it.
Okay, one modification. Okay. Clerk, I need to take a vote on this one.
Mhm.
Okay, Board of Commissioners, you have the resolution before you. If you had an opportunity to review it, do we have a motion? You've had an opportunity to review it. Do we have a motion to move forward?
Yes, Madam Chair. I would like to make a motion to approve the resolution that we have before us with a couple of minor modifications as indicated by County Attorney at the 7th, whereas having the language changed to reflect that there have been no complaints indicating that anyone was denied the right to vote. Additionally, in the last whereas paragraph, in the section where it says all other events held during the early voting period will have to have pre-approval by the county administration office, I would like to add a condition in there that the Board of Elections and Registrations also be consulted in the conversation regarding those activities.
Clerk, Madam Clerk, you made a note of that as well. Okay.
Madam Chair, may I ask a question for clarification? Commissioner Kenner Jones, is that notice to the Board of Elections and Registration or pre-approval?
Notice.
Notice.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
Okay. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Board, any discussion? Any further discussion? Okay.
I just would like to say I appreciate the residents and the citizens for bringing this matter to our attention. I think everybody agrees that the right to vote is one of our most fundamental and inalienable rights, and that needs to be taken seriously. I appreciate our county administration for coming to the courthouse during that time specifically to try to gauge the situation. I appreciate our director of our Board of Elections for trying to make appropriate arrangements. I think this was a well-intentioned activity and venture that had a negative impact. But no one, again, was denied the right to vote, and so this is really just to make sure that we never get in this situation again. We want our residents to be able to have fun and have a good time, but we also have to make sure that the business of the county continues to get done during those periods, and so I definitely appreciate that being brought to our attention so that we could do something appropriate to make sure this never happens again.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I yield back.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Jones. Any other discussion, Board? We have a motion and a second on the floor. Please prepare to cast your votes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay. Thank you so much, Clerk. Are we ready with our presentation from our CFO, or you want us, you ready? Okay. Sounds good.
We're ready, Madam Chair.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
All right. Okay, thank you.
This item is a presentation of the 2025 County Administrator's proposed budget for your consideration and deliberation. I will just go over bottom line numbers on page 2. The document, general fund, is a grand total proposed budget for 2025 of $130,975. Approximately $800,000 higher than the amended 2024 budget. The next fund is the special revenue funds, a grand total of $54,483,373. That's an increase from last year amended of approximately $3.5 million. On capital project funds, we have a total of $40 million. There is no variance comparison here because we did not include these items in 2024. And the capital project made up of our SPLOS 16 balance and 2022 SPLOS. Enterprise funds, a total of $9.6 million, a slight reduction of $700,000 compared to last year's amended budget. And internal service funds, which consist of self-insurance and workers' compensation, is $18.654229 million, slight increase of $250,000 compared to last year. And those are just the bottom line numbers for all the funding sources for the county. I am available for any questions, Madam Chair.
All right. Thank you so much. Board of Commissioners, you have any questions for our CFO regarding the framework of budget, proposed budget? Okay. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, Madam
No
Chair.
questions at this time.
Yes, ma'am.
Board of Commissioners, that leads us into our public hearing. Clerk, certainly, as we set up and move forward with the public hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Our public hearing is now open regarding the budget, proposed budget, and certainly that information is available if there, we have it here. It is also on the website, I believe. Chief of Staff, that information, the proposed budget is available.
Yes, Your Honor, that document is.
You honor? Wow, I feel honored this morning.
I went back to my lawyer days. Yes, Madam Chair, the document is available on the website.
Thank you so much. So with that being said, this public hearing is now open. We'd certainly like to hear from those who are, just would like to provide some information regarding their opinions. Certainly, if you're in favor, please come up. Okay, with that being said, anyone here in opposition of the proposed budget? Any citizens? Being none, the public hearing is now closed. Okay?
Okay, so next on our agenda, Chairman, is the consent agenda. So we'll just need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, thank you. Board of Commissioners, you had an opportunity in our work session to dialogue, read, and review the items on this consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve our consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Board of Commissioners, any discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Please prepare to cast your votes.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right, thank you so much. Next, we have announcements. I want to make sure I'm going because I'm trying to do two, yeah. Thank you so much.
Good morning again, Madam Chair, Board of Commissioners. I'm pleased to stand before you with a few announcements this morning. Join Commissioner Mitchell and Tracy Rickard on Saturday, November 9th, 2024 at 2 p.m. for the Board of Education District 3 meeting. The topic is Educating in a Safe Environment. The location is New Manchester High School Fine Arts Auditorium. That's at 4925 Highway 92 in Douglasville. Advance voting for the November general election is underway now through Friday, November 1st. Early voting locations are as follows: the Douglas County Courthouse, Deer Lick Park, Dog River Library, Woody Fight Senior Center, the Old Courthouse, Lithia Springs Senior Center, Boundary Waters Activity Center. And those early voting hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. Of course, for more election information and to check your voter status and/or wait times, visit douglascountyga.gov and click on the Elections tab at the top of the page. You're invited to bring the kids to the courthouse on October 31st from 2 to 5 p.m. to trick or treat. Our youngest citizens can trick or treat on 3 levels of the courthouse and see the elaborately decorated departments. We are proud to be a part of the Teal Pumpkin Project so that those with food allergies can still participate in the festivities safely. For more information, email constituentservices@douglascountyga.gov. And join us on November 1st for our very first Dia de los Muertos Festival. The festival will begin with a small parade and then move indoors for food and fun. The festival will take place from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. at the Family Fun Center located at 2171 Mack Road. Email Constituent Services for more information. And calling all veterans. Join us at the courthouse on Wednesday, November 6th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. for a Veterans Resource Fair. Military veterans, their families, and caregivers are encouraged to attend. Meet local organizations, providers, and vendors who work specifically with veterans to help them gain access to the benefits they have earned. Email Constituent Services for additional information. And on that note, applications for the annual Veterans Day Parade now open. Any group who wants to honor our veterans and our flag is welcome to participate. The application link can be found on the county website at douglascountyga.gov at the top left corner of the page. It is free to apply and free to participate. For more information, Constituent Services at douglascountyga.gov is your contact. That concludes announcements for this morning. I yield back to you.
Thank you so much, Chief Communications Officer Yvette Jones. Thank you so much for rendering those amazing, wonderful announcements. Board of Commissioners, is there any other business that needs to come before this board this morning? Any other business items? With that being said, this meeting is recessed until 6 p.m. tonight for the joint P&Z, which is Planning and Zoning, and the Board of Commissioners meeting. So, Board of Commissioners, we are in recess.